Oh my gosh, I love squash.
Hey everybody, my name is Hope Rasmussen and today we are talking about squash. Now there are two different categories for squash, winter squash and summer squash. Summer squash has a more tender skin and does not store for as long. So one type of summer squash is the yellow squash. You get this at Walmart for $1.28 per pound and it contains vitamin C, B6, and potassium. Now, how do you choose what yellow squash to get? Well, the rind should be shiny, firm but not hard, and have no visible cuts or discoloration. A ripe yellow squash should be heavy, but average in size for the best flavor. You should store the yellow squash in a plastic bag in the fridge, and it will last for 7 days.
To prepare, make sure you wash the summer squash, and then using a chef's knife, cut off the ends, and then slice the summer squash into rounds. So a really great way to prepare summer squash as a side dish would be to saute. So we're just going to heat up some olive oil on a skillet, and then add the summer squash pieces. After letting them sizzle for a bit, we're just going to flip them right over once they have that nice color on them. Now these beauties are perfect just the way they are, so we're going to heighten the flavor a little bit just by adding a pinch of salt and pepper.
Simple, easy, and oh so good. Winter squash has a thicker skin and can be stored for quite a while, usually all throughout the winter. Butternut squash get at Walmart for $1.18 per pound, and all these for just 99 cents. It contains vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin 6. Now, for how to choose, you can look for one with a hard rind, a sturdy skin, and no deep cuts on the skin. Just a few nicks and scratches are okay. And you can store this whole in a cool, dark place for about a month.
Butternut squash is really hard to cut through, so a good way to go about this is to poke some holes with a fork and put it in the microwave for 5 minutes. Now it will be easier to cut off the ends of the butternut squash and then cut it lengthwise in half. Be careful for your fingers. Then you just peel the seeds out with a spoon. A really nice way to prepare the butternut squash will be to put it in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes. So we're going to brush the butternut squash with olive oil and then place it face side down. After taking the butternut squash out of the oven, you can see that it is so tender. And I love this method because you don't have to peel off that thick skin. It just comes out so easily if you scrape it with a spoon.
So I'm just going to sprinkle a little salt and pepper on here. And it's a perfect side dish like that. It's so smooth. Another type of winter squash is the acorn squash. You can get this at Walmart for $1.18 per pound, and it is very high in vitamin C, A, magnesium, and potassium. Now, how do you choose this? Well, it should be average size, heavy for its size, with a smooth, dull skin and no soft spots. A good balance between the green and the orange is perfect. And you can store this in a cool, dark area for up to a month.
Now, just like the butternut squash, the easiest way to cut this will be to poke some holes in it and put it in the microwave for 5 minutes. Carefully with a chef's knife, we're going to puncture the acorn squash and cut it just right in half. Now we're going to get rid of the excess gunk and seeds in the middle. And a really nice way to prepare acorn squash easily is to use the microwave. So we're going to take some water and pour it into a microwave-safe dish, and then add the acorn squash face down and put the seal on the top and just insert it into the microwave for another 5 minutes. Use some oven mitts to take out the microwave-safe dish, and then using a tongs, transfer the acorn squash to a plate. You can see that it is just falling apart and it is so moist and tender. With acorn squash, you can go savory or sweet, but we're just going to add some fall flavors and drizzle on some honey and cinnamon.
Oh my gosh, it is so tender. That screams fall. So good.